the long-awaited tutorial. I'm so sorry that this took so long to come out, but here is my Vi from League of Legends tutorial. And for this look, I started out with my Cover FX Mattifying Primer. So first I'm using a Elmer's glue stick to block out the top half of my eyebrows. In Vi's splash art, her brows are very thin, really arched, and kind of drawn on looking. And since this is a kid's glue, it can easily wash off. Just gently with soap and water or even olive oil, this glue will come off your eyebrows easily and not pull any hairs off or anything like that. And if you're like me and can't wait for the glue to dry, with some translucent or just loose powder, with a heavy hand apply it to where the glue area is and it will set and dry instantly. And this will definitely save you some time if you need to do multiple layers like I do. I usually end up having to do about 2 layers to block out my eyebrows because my eyebrow hairs are really thick and the texture can be a bit tricky to cover up. Next, I'm just doing my normal concealer routine with my Revlon Colorstay Stick Concealer. And to block out the color of my eyebrows, I am using Physicians Formula Cream Concealer. And then just buffing that all out with a Beauty Blender sponge. For my foundation, I'm using Revlon Colorstay in the Oily Combination Skin Formula. To set my foundation, I'm using Revlon Colorstay's Pressed Powder and then Femme Couture's Translucent Loose Powder. Next, I'm using Rimmel London's Natural Bronzer for my contour. And I'm just applying this on the outside of my face and then the sides of my nose. So I forgot to block out this part of my eyebrow, so I'm just using a white eyeliner and then the cream concealer from earlier and then just topping that with powder, and that will cover the color of your eyebrow hairs. So first I'm using a Femme Couture brow pencil in dark brown to shape out my eyebrows. And then I ended up switching to a dark brown eyeshadow from a BH palette because sometimes a brow pencil can budge your glue work you did to cover up your eyebrows. So on the top part I used the eyeshadows and then on the bottom I used the brow pencil. So for this look, I decided to use the Naked 3 palette, and I am starting with the shade Limit and applying this to my crease to warm it up some. Next, I'm taking the shade Nooner and applying this to my crease as well, and then blending it down towards my lids, and then also I'm going to take this under my lash line. To line my eyes, I'm using Urban Decay's Black Velvet eyeliner and blending that out, and I'm also going to apply this underneath my waterline and blend that out as well. Next, I'm using Factory to smoke out underneath my waterline and then around my crease. And after applying some mascara, I'm wearing Red Cherry Lashes number 43. Alrighty, so for the Vi logo on her cheek, to make a straight line and make sure the lettering was somewhat even, I used pieces of tape on the top and bottom, and then to draw on the logo I just used dark brown eyeshadow. And if you have a hard time freehanding this, then you can easily just cut out a stencil on some paper, which I did with her neck tattoos that you will see later. So looking at Vi's splash art, her lips don't really have any crazy colors or anything like that. It's just kind of a pinky lip with a strong cupid's bow. So I'm using a Milani Nude lip pencil just to kind of draw out my lips and accentuate my cupid's bow. Then I used a matte Kate Moss pink lipstick on top. So for the tattoo, I just got a piece of paper and cut out a gear symbol, and I used my Dyna airbrush gun with a dark brown eyeshadow color and just filled it in, and then took a wet Q-tip and just drew out the design on the inside. And after that, I just put on some purple contacts from Pinky Paradise, and these are very comfortable and the color payoff is really good. And then I got some goggles from eBay. These are pretty cheap and they kind of look like hers from the game, so I thought they'd just work. And that is the final look. I'll put all the products I used in the description below. Until then, I'll see you next time.